But we preach to the choir. We talk amongst
Yes.
ourselves. That's not cool. We don't get involved in anything. And quietly but true, we be in the welfare lines. We be in the food stamp line. We be in the free store. We got our hands out, but we against the system. That's total conflict. That's just
Mm-hmm.
against what we say we about.
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah,
Why
can
we
you
gotta
hear
maintain it.
say that again. Someone said something.
your voice went way more and more and more. I can hear you.
Oh, my voice was breaking up. I'm sorry.
No, it just started like I couldn't hear you.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was just saying that, but you did hear the last part.
The
I'm
very
just
Mm-hmm.
last I didn't. I guess my diet did, but I understand the point you're trying to make.
yeah. I'm just saying that we need to get off our duffs. I'm not saying everybody's just sitting back, chilling. I'm just saying we have to become more involved. Like Tamar said, we're supposed to be, and I think a brother said it earlier as well. We're supposed to be a priest to the heathen, amongst the other nations, and we're silent while they murder our brothers and sisters in the street. Our blood is running in the streets. That blood belongs to me. That's your blood in that street that's running, and we say nothing. But we'll get on the beamer on Shabbat and talk about how bad it is, what they're doing. And we're doing nothing. We're not talking against it. Even Mordecai did a protest as far as how I see it. What I consider it as a protest,
Yep.
you know. And as usual, truth be told, it's always the women that have to go out there to make that first move.
Yep.
And,
Yes.
and so
Yes.
we have to do it again. I mean, the truth
Yep.
is the truth.
Where are the weeping women, right? Where they at? Where's the mother that birthed all these children?
You know, it was Miriam that pulled Moshe up out the water. It
Yep.
was what Pua, and Shifra
Yep.
that saved spared the death of the male children when they could have gotten killed, but they feared Yah. So we have to continue to do our part. And once I guess the brothers see that, hey, we can't let these women show us up, they'll stand up and and take part and do their job. Just like the brother, what's his name? What's his name? It won't come to me. The one that was talking to Deborah, she was going out to war. He said, "Come on with me. Go with
Oh,
me."
Barack?
What's our son's name? Is that what's
You talking about Barack?
Barack?
Mhm.
Just like he said, "I don't care what they say. You come with me." Basically, he did. Those weren't exact words, but basically, he wasn't afraid of what someone else was going to say by calling this woman to go with him to battle because she
Yeah.
knew that she had the spirit of the Most High on him, on her, and it meant he wasn't too proud. He
Yep.
accepted, he
Yes.
accepted and humbled himself.
Yes.
Probably
She
said it
was
like
not.
that.
She wasn't, and she wasn't. She didn't take that humbleness from an adult male as something to trample on. That was something that she admired too. That's why she let him know, like, hey, they're gonna talk about you. They're gonna call you stupid.
Right.
He didn't care, and she didn't abuse it. So
Yep.
that was twofold. You know,
Yep.
Absolutely.
she did not abuse it. She didn't go back and, like talk about him, like she could. But we're gonna continue to do what we have to do. Even going back to Rachel,
Yeah.
Rebecca. When we think
Yep.
about, you know, she had to make that move. Although people say, well, you know what? She didn't have faith. She should have been still. She deceived him. No, the Most High told her in a vision
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep. It's
what was to
important.
happen. She did what
Yeah.
she felt was needed to do. And had she not did it,
You
we
couldn't
wouldn't
do
be
it.
called Israel today.
Nope.
Hallelujah.
Yep.
That's right, Ima.
So we have to
Absolutely.
we have to continue to do our jobs, sisters, and stop letting letting what someone else says keep us from doing our job.
What
Because
a
then
song
we're in error.
came up to me when you was talking is that Peter Tasha? Who is that? Say, stand up for your rights. Get up.
We have to.
Yes, yes. Stand up
We have
for
to.
your rights. I have a right as a woman to do what Yah would have for me to do because I have
That's
the
right.
breath of life in me.
Yes.
Yep.
That's right. And I know that every woman wants a covering, but it doesn't happen like that. That's why the Most High is our covering. And his too.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
We in this together.
So
Absolutely.
we can do this.
Brother Roche has his,
But we need your support, brothers. We do need your support.
Brother
Mostly
Roche
for
has,
me. Just
Brother Roche has his hand up. He don't know how we do it when we get on the phone. We going into the floor.
Shalom, everyone.
Roche,
I just got a
Shalom.
couple things to say. I want to encourage you all of you all, I want to encourage you all that we all, I mean, so I got a book coming out soon called Men versus Women War, right? But I want to encourage everyone to realize that I, I always teach us a remnant. All everybody that was mentioned from Zakana, which was excellent, everything she brought out. But I want you to realize, remember Elijah? Remember when, was it Elijah? I think it was Elijah, when he thought he was one of the prophets that was only there. And then the Most High said, hey,
Aisha.
I got
right.
300 or something over
Just
there.
like you.
That's right.
So,
Worry not
so,
about yourself.
so the thing I'm trying to bring out is, it's always from back then to even now been a remnant of the men and or women of the Most High. Majority of Israel was not doing the things that you all are mentioning that needs to be done. It has all the prophets. Think of the prophets. Think about the priests, the good priests. Think of the good the good women and things. It was only a remnant. So they're out there. It's some men out there now. It's some women out there now doing the things we mentioning. They're missing pieces. If we could come together and Prince and Princess and Rosha, like it's not a lot of people that have land and stuff, but the stuff that we're talking about is trying to change our process, bring us back to the Most High Creator, according to the literature as men and women. They're out there. It's just a small remnant. And I wish it can be what we're all hoping for right now and saying. I just think, this is my opinion, I'm no one, that it's always going to be a remnant until the Most High comes and fulfill. But I want to say this last thing. There are men and women
And they
on an
don't
equal
die.
playing field that are doing that work. That example with Elijah is a perfect example. Sometimes we feel like we're the only people doing, but I got 3,300, however many he said, that's out there doing it too. But it might seem like it's not a lot because there's so many of us, and it's not a lot amongst us where we live at in the States that's doing what we know needs to be done from uh um our local areas. It's people that's doing it, I promise you. But it just don't seem like it because it's always only a remnant. With that, I yield. But just the men and women, we got to stop, in my opinion, humbly saying and respectfully, We have to stop thinking that the men are not doing and or the women are not doing. They are. It's just not a lot of us. And so we are doing. You know, that's why I said earlier about the misogynistic thing and what's the other one for the women? I forgot how would you say misandry, whatever it is. We got to stop with the war with each other. And sometimes we have a war and we don't even realize that we are. And it's okay. And I understand why, because of so much stuff that we've been through. But we got to try to figure out a way to get that done. Was I can't say it? In order to get that done, we got to figure out a way to just come together. And until we come together, we're going to keep fighting each other. And we're not going to realize that we are doing the work. It just doesn't seem like it because it's only a remnant of a remnant.
Yep.
Truth.
Powerful.
I respect what you said, and I totally agree that it's always going to be a remnant. That's what the Most High said, that would be saved. It's a remnant. So I agree totally with that remnant piece. And I do understand that in totality, when I do see our people out there, I know they're Israel. They don't know that they're Israel. That's out there doing the work, male and female. But I'm speaking from the Israel that I know. And a lot of times when I talk to Israelites, conscious Israelites in other places, they're having the same problem. They don't see themselves out there as conscious Israel. Maybe that's what I should say. Conscious
And
Israel.
in our communities, they look for us. I've been in heard conversation. They say we need an Israelite up here on this platform.
Yeah, they'll see
You
a
know?
Muslim and a Christian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Sure
we've
enough.
been a light. We've made some initiated some changes in our families and in our communities. You know.
So, brother,
Impact.
if you do know them, then they should, maybe you can convince them, the conscious Israelites that you know that's out there on the front line. Maybe there can be a coalition of maybe you can hook those conscious Israelites that's on the front line with other conscious Israelites that's on the front line. And maybe they can, have a coalition to represent Israel. Because I don't know them. And that would be great because we can network.
Yeah, we determined that we need that when this one great jockey, I said some radio jockey out online, it was bashing all Hebrew Israelites. And we were thinking, well, who's going to come forward? Who's going to represent? Who's going to let them know we don't send our women out to war? We don't go to Jewish synagogues. We don't do that. That's not us. And remember that we said we need somebody to step forward now to represent. She might have watched. And then when somebody do step forward, it seems like they get ridiculed and shot at and gunned down, and people try to tear them down. It's not the way. The pressure keeps standing up. We all support.
Can I speak?
Yes.
You always can speak, Prince.
No, y'all got some fire right now going on, y'all ladies. Boy, I gotta ask for permission to jump up in this flow.
Never.
You know, I hear all this talk, right? This talk is really good. You know, it's good. Very good in that area. But have y'all ever stopped to think that might be the creator talking to y'all and telling y'all to get up and do it? You know, a lot of times
Absolutely. And I realize that everybody don't need to come for everything because everybody doesn't have the spirit that's necessary at that time. one thing I definitely learned, and I apologize, Prince. I'll stop. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm gonna be quiet.
No, I just had a thought. I just want to share this because you know what? It's important to build with people that's of like spirit, especially when it's a nucleus, because then it can grow and it can get bigger or it just achieve what the Most High would have. But in all honesty, I have to say firsthand, because I did participate in the Jericho March that the UNY did. There were people on the up there on the buildings, snipers on the buildings, you know. And I'm not a real like fighter person. I try not to entertain some anger, resentment, whatnot, fear. Um, but all I could really remember at that time is that the Most High told me just stay focused on me, pray, just do your prayer, focus on me. But they was ready they would. I mean, you don't bring out snipers and put them on top of the building if you ain't looking for somebody just to flinch the wrong way. So I'm okay with Most High sending those who He would send to labor with me, opposed to me having to have everyone there. Because I know when it comes to dealing with things in the spiritual realm, you only need those that the Most High would choose. I think it's important that we all get our hearts right. I'm working on mine.
Oh yeah.
That's true, because when we went to battle before, he told the scared men to go back with the, well, I won't say that. He told the men to go back, some men to go back to the women and the children, take care of the home, because they were attackers at home too. So, I'll put it like that.
Well, when you start dealing with energy, you can ignite some things. You'd have been in situations where somebody say something and then next thing you know, you just start a fire. And everybody trying to calm it down.
Chris, complete your thoughts.
Well, we
I'm
said the same
I'm gonna
thing.
mute Tamar.
Oh, thank you for giving me more permission to speak again. Hey, Roche, you with me, Roche?
I think he left. I mean, he's still here.
Oh no, I'm here. Trust me, I'm very firm in my stance. I got some plans. The problem is people don't want to execute the plans, and it's a lot of things that's required. A lot of our complaints be our problems sometimes, and the head is the man. We need to get in order. But one of the things is we read the scripture and we think that this was everybody. Everybody has their strengths and their offices. Everybody are not warriors. It's so deep. It's so much deeper. And until we could come together and we can teach one another and have agreement as to what needs to be done, who should do it, and pick the right people. Because the problem is we pick the wrong people, and then we get upset when that person is not fill up to what we thought him or her should be. And now it creates a whole cycle of us steady spreading what was the cause when it was us that was the reason. And before us, it was us not even paying attention to the scripture. We threw the scripture to the side when we wanted something, but then when it was time, when we saw the outcome, now we going back to the scripture. And this goes for everybody. This goes for myself. This is what I see. So I'm trying to get us to come together and kind of like do a reset. To do that reset because we got a lot of trauma, as I was saying during the teaching. It's a lot of trauma. So the best way to fix the trauma is not only the literature, because the literature been around forever and everybody is failing, even going through the literature. We need to write stuff down. We need to get the right people in place that's going to actually do it. Challenge them. Don't just bring people in just because they say they're Israel. That's why I said a remnant. Even the men that didn't go and he sent home, it was still other men that went out, right? It was still women that was there support and do what they needed to do, because if they didn't, we wouldn't have went forward. So we got to come together and deal with the people that's going to really do it. And then if we do that, we don't have to complain about the people that we know wasn't supposed to be there in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So that's the part I'm trying to look at. And that's the part I'm hoping that we can look at. And until we look at that, we're going to keep failing. Trust me. Mark my word. Listen to me. Y'all know before me because y'all been longer. But With that, we need to change it, or it's never going to change. I'm telling you.
With all
I
due
agree with
respect,
you.
with all due respect, I agree with you, but I have caution about one of the things you said was we need to pick the right people. And a lot of times, unfortunately, when people get in these positions and go to their head, they begin to change. So
They're
it's
not,
not
they're not the
Yes.
right people. They're not the right people. The Most High got
But we
people that,
gotta let the Most High make that choice.
last thing I'm saying, I'm not saying anything else. I promise you. The right person, from what I see, is a person that you can see consistency on multiple fronts.
No.
Not stuff that they put in front of you, but you could see consistency and a true desire. They will they would admit their failures. They would concede to certain things that they don't know. Like these leaders that we're talking about, they don't open themselves up like that. They think that they run the show.
Truth. Truth.
So I agree with you 100%. I promise you, red flags and all. But those are not the right people. The people who we thought was the right people are not the right people. That's just that's all I got. Love all y'all.
And we will make those mistakes. And I think that doing a theocratic government in captivity, you can only do so much. But however, we can learn from some of the arenas or some of the government how it's set up here. As for say, for instance, we did put someone in place because we thought they had the credentials and the expertise to run a certain, I'm going to use the word, department. If they can't, they need to go. We can vote them in and vote them out. I'm just using that as an example because somebody could put on a good face,
Perfect example. I love it. Toda.
you know? So that problem is solved if we're willing to try to set up that type of theocratic government as best you can in captivity, where the law, the Creator's law, reigns. You know what I mean? And then taking into consideration that we are in captivity, there are certain things that can't be done. However, everything that we do is based on the law. Like what everybody's not a gardener. Everybody don't have that thumb that the sisters down there on the land. So that might not be my calling.
Right.
My calling might be somewhere else. And that's for everyone. That remnant that you're speaking of, you deal with that group of people and whoever has those expertise. And if I thought that I could run something, you appointed me to do something, to head something, and I think that I'm good at doing it. When it comes too much for me, I should be woman enough to say, hey, this is too much. You need to find someone that can do the job, that can execute for the betterment of us all. That's how men and women should operate. When you know that somebody can do the job better than you, concede.
Right.
Let someone else that can do the job do the job. Because it's not about me, it's about us as a whole. And once we start thinking, I am you and you are I, then we're not going to get anywhere. So I agree with you.
And I think what helps with that, Sister Carol, is for us to recognize the good in each of us. Because we if we be honest with ourselves, we know among us who's good for what, you know. So you might not want to make me a soldier. I think I've identified that a long time ago. Don't make me a soldier up in the front where I'm responsible to shoot and kill everybody, because I probably won't want to shoot and kill them. I don't want to.
Right. So we're going to put your ass in the back.
Yeah, put me way back there, and I can heal the wounded. I can have empathy for the wounded, or those coming. Put me way out there where so everybody got to know their job.
Everybody has to know their job. You're right.
Yep.
Everybody has to know their job. You're right. And that's my point. Everybody should know what they and it's okay. And it doesn't matter who your daddy is. If you ain't good for the job, you're not good for the job.
Yeah, that's right.
Fact.
You know, I don't care who your mama is or what they did, or I don't care. That doesn't mean that you are good at that. And
Our
matter of
most
fact, your daddy wasn't all that good. If you really want to tell the truth, he was just afraid. So let's keep it real. Our lives are at stake. Our children's lives are
Right.
at stake.
Right.
Yeah.
We done lived everybody on this phone has lived most of their lives already. It's
Exactly.
about the
Yup.
children and the children's children.
Exactly.
Yup.
Exactly.
Yup.
And it's the most diligent way to teach them to show
That's right.
collection work instead of just talk.
That's right.
Now, me, I have good ideas and da 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 da, da, but I'm bad at articulating what I want or what I want to say. So I write something down on paper, and I want you to say it. I want you to say it.
Mhm.
I want you to say it. You know what I mean? You can
Yeah.
deliver my message.
Right. Right.
You do a good job delivering your message, sis. You do a great job. Let
No,
somebody get on her nerves. Watch how good of a job she do telling them off.
I'm trying to be diplomatic.
So now, yeah.
Oh, there's something new for you? You just started being diplomatic?
Stop it,
Uh-uh.
little brother. The
Sis,
opposite word, little brother.
you know you
Li-
bring that fire.
with an L, little brother. I'm the big.
How about that? Prince, did you want to say something?
I've been trying to say something for the last half hour. But anytime I say something, I say, shut up. You talking about know your place. I know my place. I'm gonna be quiet.
I muted the phone. I muted my phone and I pushed it away.
Okay, I'm going on mute too. You have the floor, brother.
I got the floor.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
ahead, bro.
Let me check. Sister Tamar, do I got the floor?
Yes, I'll be quiet.
All right, there you go. All right, here we go. Now, I hear all this talking, right? But talks without work is nothing. Don't mean a thing. All we doing is performing. So we already got the platform. We already got the people. We already got the land. Now, what we gonna do? Shut up or put up? Which one? That's the bottom line of the equation. Everybody gave such good, strong words. Now it's time to put up. Either be quiet or put up. How we gonna start, y'all? What we gonna do? I rest my mic.
Plant more food, send more trees, money for food and roadways.
Listen, bro, you almost talking to the choir here. Like I walked away from everything I had, bought every dime I got, dumped it, started the school. I'm
He wasn't
here.
talking to you. He wasn't talking to you, sis.
Oh,
Because I
I
was
was
gonna
gonna
say,
say,
I'm
I
like
was
I
gonna
tell my
No, just
children,
because
if it don't pertain to you, don't even say nothing. I know who he's talking
no,
to.
but I mean he's right by asking the question. But everybody that I know on here in one form of fashion has dropped it and come.
Right.
You know, he's
well,
asking a pertinent question. And maybe we need to ask that question to everybody on the outside that isn't. We did it. He got the land. We got the
Right.
school. I started the school. Princess Medai is and her side is getting the medical facility. You Tamar, you're working on the spiritual portion of the retreat and the tactical field, Prince and Roche, and the language, bringing it back. Like everybody on here, Tula and Laurel coming in. Where can I fit in? Here's what I got. The question he's asking is right. We can sit here and talk all day long. I'm gonna say it. A bunch of Nick Clean get together and all they do is talk. We started putting it in action. Maybe we should start asking that very question, Buzz. Asking to other people, what you gonna do? Other than that, I don't want to talk to you no more. Stop talking. Let's just start putting it into play.
Right. And to be honest, I
and I'm
don't
gonna flip
ask
that.
I
I'm
don't
gonna flip
ask
that
anybody.
script. I'm gonna flip that script and say, okay, I'll see everybody at the march.
Yeah, and then
So
I was gonna say, to be
Because that's what
honest,
started the whole conversation.
yes,
yeah.
But
ma'am.
to your question, Prince, to your challenge, Prince. Now I know more. I may that I don't want to move to the land. Okay. However, I can donate. Now I'm done with that.
So I would like to say, in all respect to everybody, I have a policy. I don't ask anybody what they're gonna do, because I've seen all my life where people say what they're gonna do. It's really about your actions, and the actions don't have to be the actions of the next person. Whatever your portion is your portion, and that's it. I don't expect not one person, not even my siblings, to do what I do. If somebody comes and does what I do, then I'm like, okay, here, let's share this portion. But I don't expect it, because each one of us have a portion. The creator already designed our portion for us. So we cannot redesign somebody's portion for them. We have to let their strength shine where they shine and encourage each other in their portion. We got this, we get into this mode of, well, I want to do what she doing or he doing, and not understanding that the Most High didn't design you for that portion. That's why when you try to do the portion, you fail in so many ways, not in failing like it can't be done, but you don't get it and it doesn't get done in the manner that it should. So the challenge, I believe, that my even said, is not saying that nobody here is getting it done, but fall in the line that you supposed to be in, and let's unite and do it together. Let's hold each other's hand where we need to be held up. If we need a break, say we need a break. Communicate what needs to be done, and just let's get it done. Because in all honesty, asking those questions, all we're gonna get is the rhetoric of what somebody want to do. But if you see something needs to be done, just say, hey, I heard you on the call. This is what blunt. I've had people do that. Send me stuff or text me saying, hey, I'm sending this, check this package, look for this package. What's the address? Boom, boom, boom. And I'm grateful, because I can't do it all, and I don't want to do it all. In all honesty, even if it looked like I do, I don't. But I do know that right now, because I'm here on the land, I'm going to do everything that needs to be done if nobody else is here. Even though Mama B is here, she does her part. Rosh and Amuna do their part. So it's like we're all here and we're all taking turns, taking charge, taking lead on what needs to be done. You know, grateful Maish bought a lawnmower that us women can drive, because he don't want us using his big dog machine. And I'm grateful because now we get to cut the grass and not have to wait on him or Roche or someone he feels. And I understand it, and I don't beg to use his lawnmower, because I done seen what happened to him using it, and I'm not trying to get a busted knee and everything else. So I'm like, I'll wait. But now we don't have to at least wait. We can cut the grass if we need to. Like, we got to go in the garden and cut the grass. It's high on certain parts, and I don't want to walk in there and a snake come out. I already killed one snake. I'm not trying to keep killing snakes.
Two.
Oh, I only killed one. No, two. So
Two.
it's like, but the thing is, I hear
You look like you
what
some
my
kin to
sister's
Harriet
saying.
Tubman. I'm just gonna say it now. I'm convinced
Who?
you some kin to Harriet Tubman. You down there killing snakes and cutting grass.
Oh no. Oh no, I rode over a snake because it was I was leaving the land and it was right there in my pathway. And I said, oh, it's time for you to go. And I rode over about 20 times.
Yeah, that sounds like.
And it was a big rattlesnake.
Oh,
but,
in my sister's story, she told us how she was fighting with the goat, trying to get the goat to behave, trying to move the goat from one side to the other. And it was a story. I mean, at that was the day I gained like a whole newfound respect for her and the work that she's doing.
Absolutely.
She really put in the work down there.
Absolutely.
All of them, Mariah, Rose, all of them are. But when she told us the story about her and this goat, it's hard to believe. I know I couldn't have done it. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but the support, honestly, and sometimes a person's portion is just being supportive. And that means a lot to those who are doing the work. I mean, coming from a revolutionary family, that's what it was. My parents always taught us, stay in your lane. You have some, like Rose said earlier, you have warriors, and you have people who are warriors in the books, warriors who write the rules. Everybody is a warrior in their own stead, and every part works. Because if we don't have somebody to take the notes, who write up the stuff, who record, then we losing off the information and the knowledge and the history that have to be passed for the future.
Facts.
So if you see somebody doing it, then you get the recording part. Everything just works hand in hand. And I believe like this conversation definitely was needed. I'm glad Ema Carol's on the call, and she always bring that fire anyway. But I'm glad she was on the call and brought up the march. And that's why I asked what type of march is it, because I don't really do marches. So I wanted to know, because a lot of times I feel like marches don't get anything done. So that's why I asked, what was it in commemoration of, or what was it for? So I understand that.
Well, they call it a continuation. They don't want to call it part 2, whatever. They want to call it a continuation, because they're seeing, and I see it too, and I'm sure you all do too, what these folks are doing. They coming after us.
Yeah, they rolling back the clock, and we know better
They
than
are
some of our
Jim Crow laws as we speak.
right.
Yeah.
And they're doing things that we
districting where Black people don't even have districts no more. Trying to take Black education completely out of the school system. They're already doing the stuff that we're not hearing about on TV.
right.
Look over there, while they talk about Trump, they over there taking away everything they can from us.
Even in Israel now, they just passed a law where the government has supersedes the Torah.
Courts.
The high courts.
Yeah.
Yeah, their agenda. They have an agenda, and they fulfilling the agenda.
And we know what the agenda is, and our children are unprotected.
Yep.
The thing about participation in the rally, it sends a signal to our children too, that this is something you need to be concerned with, interested in. And why are so many people coming together and protest? What are they protesting? You have to,
And what type? Who's in charge of security of the rally? Like, who's securing the people that come into the rally?
Who's securing that's coming?
Like all of the people because if it's a rally and there's all these organizations, is it the FOI?
Sharpton is heading it. I'm sure. Al Sharpton. I know.
I'm not coming. I'm not coming. Nothing Al Sharpton.
That's cool. I know he had a number, blah, 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 but that has nothing to do to me with what he's doing today. I don't hear nobody else out there trying to get wrong.
But I'm saying, but what's his? Okay, so I
That's
understand. So Al Sharpton, right? What is he doing? Because you say he's doing something different. What has he laid out? How is this going to benefit what he's doing outside of himself being put on a pedestal again? What is he doing now? What is this going to do that's going to bring awareness, education, money, everything for the people, for the communities, our communities?
I'm getting ready to tell you, in my opinion, what he is doing is what we have been saying all day, crying out.
Yeah.
He has. See, the thing is, you have to be strategic. We need about 20 more Al Sharptons, or whoever you want to call them. We need 20 and 26. We need 1 or 2, maybe 5 in every state, every city. But at this point, his voice is what white folk respect now. So if it's Al Sharpton that they respect and will lend an ear to, so be it. I know his past as well. I used to be a part of the AAPRP, All African People Revolutionary Party, ran by Stokely and Kwame Nkrumah. So I understand all of the revolutionary. That's nothing new to me. So I know that he once had was informant. I understand. People change.
He was an informant?
Yes.
Yeah. And I know that.
Well, I'm not saying that he can't change. What I'm
saying is that he's doing the crying out, and white folks are afraid of him right now. They listen to him right now. This is what I'm saying, because he has a following.
He got their attention.
Strategically, you do not see anyone else that can
gather that get that much attention.
Respect.
Right.
And if they are afraid, and if he said, have you seen the movie Loudmouth?
No, what's that about?
If y'all get a chance, just check it out. I'm not saying that he's our Messiah.
No.
I know what it means. He's Christian. All I'm saying is that now, today, that's the voice that they listen to. So I am, I have, you don't hear anyone else out here on the platform.
So,
Now, there may be
mhm,
many platforms, like there are like many, like for instance, there was one holy tabernacle, but there was little small tabernacles
mhm,
throughout. He's that he's the one right now that they paying attention to.
Yes.
That
right.
they're
I
afraid
understand
that
that.
if he white folks are afraid that if he says, all right, y'all, let's boycott A, B, and C,
Right.
Mhm.
people will do that.
Can
You
They
I,
have to
don't
have a
white folks
gathering.
money is what's important to them.
man,
You talk about the heavyset black pastor.
Huh?
You talking about the heavyset black guy that's a pastor of a church?
Oh, he not heavy set no more.
You talking about
No,
Al? She's
yeah,
talking about Al
he's
Sharpton,
real
sis.
skinny.
She's talking
Yeah,
But
about
he's
I,
Al
I,
skinny.
I
Sharpton.
hear you, Emma Carol.
Yes, Alpha. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's what I don't put him on the pedestal, baby. Don't get me wrong.
Oh no, I'm not saying you do. I'm talking about like you said, the white people are paying attention to him. I Where I'm coming from is he's an informant. I don't care how many years he ain't talk to the police or whatever. He an informant till he died, in my opinion. Secondly, he's gathering the people, right? And the white people are paying attention to this. That's why I asked who's doing the security. I don't go anywhere. Like I need to know. We are just like Sister Tamar said. They have the people out there ready, snipers
They
ready.
do.
When we did the Million Youth March, we saw the snipers on the roofs in New York. So I'm aware of it, but I knew who was doing security. I trusted
They
the people that organized it.
when we
They're gonna
marched
have
in
snipers
to the
everywhere we go.
floor,
Right. But I'm
that's what
saying
they
with Al
do.
Sharpton, what I'm saying is I'm not saying we can't support and let's not support. What I'm more saying is, yes, he's being paid attention to. The white people worry about their money. The ultimate goal, though, because we could boycott all day, we can do all this stuff. What is Al Sharpton's ultimate goal besides just crying out? Because at the end of the
To
day,
roll
all the
back to
money that's
stop
going to come
them
from this march, all the
from
money that's going to be
stopping
gathered
them.
by him and
No, I
all
don't
these
know if there's
leaders.
any money. I don't know if there's any money being. No
They're
one said
actually offering. They're actually offering free buses. You know,
Yeah,
there's a
but what
law.
I'm saying,
I don't know
y'all remember
anybody.
when the y'all remember when they
Millionaire
had the
March.
march?
can everybody be quiet for a minute, please? Please, everybody just be quiet for a second, please. All right, now hear me out for a second, please. What we gotta remember is that yes, he's a snake. But what we gotta remember is that sis asked a question. I don't know how to unmute y'all. I'll figure that out in a minute. Sis asked a question about who else is doing it. The reason why nobody else is doing it because they kill everybody. They kill all the men that stand up in righteousness. Don't mention Farrakhan because he's another informant. He's another snake. He's not there. So all the black men that have stood up for the sake of our people, no matter what their religious persuasion was, they killed them all. So the majority that are still on that same cause and on that level are keeping quiet and doing things in pockets like we doing right now. They're doing things in pocket because the more exposure you get to the world, they're going to kill you too. The white man is serious about his agenda. He's not playing. He's not playing. But too many of us are just talking. So we talk about who else is doing it. There are very few people that will even get the encouragement to do it because every time we stand up and do it, they gun us down. And nobody does anything about them gunning us down. Nobody. So what we going to do? We're going to keep talking, or we're going to support the oppressor. Everybody that stands up right now is all European people. It's their people that's doing this right now, not us. It's them that's setting all this stuff up in motion, not us. We got to do it. It's got to be done our way, by us, for us. Even the scriptures tell you that. All right? So we got to stay focused, y'all. We can't lose sight of what the real agenda is. They're trying to control us. That dude is still a snitch. He still works for them. None of that has changed. They got his face there, and people listen to him because they put him in position to do what he's doing. They arranged that. Let's not get gullible now because we desperate and we need something, which true, we do. But like I said earlier, we got it right here. We got enough effective people right here to begin to make change. It might not drastically reach as many people as Al Sharpton or Jesse Jackson, but we can reach enough that we can affect the future of our people. We can do it. We just got to remain loyal to the cause. I'm going to be quiet again. Thank y'all.
Well,
Oh no, we like it when you talk.
But Roche has his hand up.
no, I want the button so I can mute everybody's phone and I can have my.
Can I say something, please?
Roche has his hand up. Go ahead, Roche.
I want to say this. I love what Prince brought out because all the people that stood up, they died. And when you think of it, watch this. When we go to Judges, we see we have a great leader. When that leader die off, people turn back and do the same thing. So this is what I'm seeing. And maybe I'm not wanting to be listened to and all that, but just hear me out. Watch this. We have these leaders that we be wanting. They die. We continue to go back to what we was doing. Why? Because we didn't do anything. We didn't change anything. We didn't change our mindset. We ain't changed how we view each other as men and women. We ain't changed anything. Until we do that and start at the foundation, foundation is man and woman. Man and woman produce community. Community produce nation. But you know what? We forgetting man and woman, and we trying to produce a community and a nation, and that's why we keep failing. That's why men coming against each other. They got you talking bad about each other. You can't get along. There's no structures, no foundation of loyalty, none of that stuff. You don't believe me? Just look at what you're saying that's happening over and over again. Every leader that comes, as soon as they go, we go right back to it. This has happened since back then. Prove me wrong. And the reason why is because we're not focusing on the core, and the core is us. The core is man and woman first. The core is trying to get our mind right. What does all the stuff we're talking about right now have to do with changing the way we think to sustain what we're trying to obtain? We obtain it and then we lose it because we have not started with the foundation. And with that, I yield. I'm gonna shut up as the youngest here, and I'm done. You all have. I'm listening though. I'm here, but I'm done.
Youngest.
The youth is very valuable right now. Your youth is very valuable. Well, one thing I want to just say, from my understanding and reading the scriptures, and I never profess to be a scholar, but what I do, what the Most High give me from it, I plant it in my heart and I hold on to it to be true. The Most High said He would restore us little by little, unless the wild beasts would take over the land. And we're He raises up nations, He tears down nations, and we are in an infancy. Even though we may be an old nation, we don't know how to run it. We don't know how to do the things we need to do. And that's why I think sometimes people shy away from even doing something as simple as coming and being a part of a community. Because we don't really quite know how to do it. We don't know. And so, when the scripture says to me, the Most High is going to send His kings and queens will carry our sons and daughters on our shoulders, it's because we don't know how to do all those things. And we sure couldn't handle it. We'd be overwhelmed. So I just pray that the Most High, everybody's, it's a lot to be done. Whatever you can do it.
Mariah's hand is up. Carol is next.
Thank you, Sister Malka.
Toda. Going off of what Roche said about getting a leader, he die off, we go back to doing what we're doing. What got us in trouble to begin with is not accepting Yahuwah as our leader. Why do we keep feeling that we need to have that quote unquote one leader.
Right.
Why do we have to call out to the oppressor? Now, I'm all about fighting for our rights, doing what we have to do. I get that part. But why do I have to march to get this oppressor to notice that I want something when my king said, turn and seek me? I don't have to go marching down the street yelling, I'm black. They know I'm black. I'm poor. You take it from me. They know I'm poor and they're taking from me, and they're okay with that. Why can't we know what to do? Tamar says, I love you, but we know what to do. We know exactly what we need to do. We know how to do it. The problem is we are so dependent upon what the rest of the world wants. We are so dependent upon their approval that we will claim we don't know what to do. Bra and I were busting it up, and I said they will build it, and they will come from that movie.
Mm-hmm.
You give people four things, a place to worship, a school to teach their children, a way to eat, and covering over their head, they will come. We don't need to shout and march and pray. Just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't feel that you don't know how to do something, because we're doing it right now. Here's the plan. What part do you want to play? We've talked about it. We've done the planning. Now let's execute. And we don't got to shout out to the rest of the world what we're doing. Before they know it, it will be done, and there's nothing they can do about it.
This is our third year.
As long as we stay consistent and the leader we choose is the king we had from day one, and stop looking for someone to speak or rally us together. Yeah, they putting Al Sharpton out there because he's the only one left that they can depend on to rally us together to take us down. We don't need to shout it out. We know what to do. Listen, I learned how to put a septic system in. I can go around and put a septic system in everybody's house. Do we need them for that? No. We've learned how to dig for spring water. Do we need their water? No. We already know how to build solar panels. Do we need their electric? No. We know how to plant and cultivate and grow a garden and share the food. Do we need theirs? No. But we have convinced ourselves that we do. And we convinced ourselves that when they start to take stuff away, we got to go to them and say, please don't take it away. Because guess what? No matter how much you mark, no matter what you scream, no matter what as long as you ain't doing anything about it, they're going to keep doing what they want to do.
And we'll kill the leader who's leading.
And now I'm going to shut up.
I do believe if you look
I
back,
thought I had my hand up.
you probably did. I'm so rude. Let me put mine up. Hold on.
Yes,
Mr. Kara,
yes, Prince.
got the floor.
Okay. And again, let me just say this. My leader is the creator, first and foremost. Always will. As Prince, I don't deal with that leadership whole type of thing. So whether it's consciousness or Sharpton or anyone or any other man or woman, as far as that leader whole type of thing, that's not me. Okay, because I'm that's just not me. Okay, now I can admire and I can support what I see as good and right within anyone. So I don't have a problem with that. And I do understand that what you were saying, being self-sufficient is the ultimate goal. That was what I was taught in AAPRP, All African People Revolutionary Party, going back to that. So I'm fully aware of that, and I concur with everything that you said. However, for me, just for me, it's important for me that, and I desire, I wish I was able to would have been a part of the first march that allowed folks that look like me to be able to ride the bus, to go wherever they want to go, or to go to a school of their choice, or to cast a vote for whomever that I saw fit to cast a vote for, amongst a whole lot of other things, or to get a job at a particular place because I went to a particular university of my choice because of the march that had taken place, and we gained affirmative action because of the march that had taken place. So I do take advantage. I'm not trying to be hypocritical of taking advantage of what was accomplished from those marches, and then as if it was nothing. No, it was something, because maybe not all of us, but most of us, most of everybody that, let me just put it this way, most of everybody that I know has taken advantage of every opportunity that came from that march. So I have to give props. It's in my spirit, and I wish I was there. And now I have the opportunity because they're trying to do the same thing again. Rewriting, they even talking about rewriting the Bible. Are you serious? That's how arrogant these folks are. They want to change to what's in this, what they call it, whitewash. The school books. Everybody don't have, again, I said it earlier, don't have the land, let none have a school. Israel doesn't have a school. You all have a school now. They used to have schools. Black Israelites used to have schools, but they don't any longer. So it's nothing new. They just haven't had it in a long time. And they can still do it. They can do it online if we wanted to. So anybody that wanted to go to an Israelite school, they can do it. They have online schools. But anyway, digress. Again, I'm just saying that it's important to me that I take a stand, not so much for me, because again, I'll probably be dead and gone, but my children will be here. And the jobs that a lot of us have now won't be able to they won't be attainable because they have rolled back, trying to roll back. The first thing they did was taking it out of the universities. Black folks can no longer have privilege into entering into a university. And if anybody has an education, degrees, that came from because people marched. Let's not forget that. I don't, a lot of times when people have trades, that's because the people marched. They didn't want to let us in anything, but people marched. So to say that or to think that it does nothing, that's a fallacy, straight up fallacy. So even in our times, I would say that we marched up out of Egypt. I would say that Mordecai, again, he protested. So there's nothing wrong with standing up saying, I don't like what's being done. There's no shame in that. Some people want to pick up arms, but you can have a peaceful protest. That's nothing wrong with a peaceful protest to say enough is enough. I don't see the ills in that. I just don't see the wrong in that. Now, You know, if there is, point it out. I'll, I'm not that kind of person that want to hear to something that is true and right and just go against it. That's not me. That's not my spirit. But it has to settle. It has to rest comfortably for me to just, you know, accept it. But I appreciate everybody's opinion and their thoughts. I really do. I really do. You know, and I really have enjoyed myself, but I just think that for me, that's where I need to be. And I'm trying to get down there for Sukkot, you know?
That's it,
I
sir.
think I want to do, huh?
Sorry, go ahead, conclude.
Yeah,
Please.
yeah. So I'm gonna try, and I could chew bubblegum and walk too.
Do bubblegum and walk.
I could chew bubblegum and walk too. I could do a both.
Is it my turn yet?
Not yet, not yet. Please, 1 second, please. 1 second. Mr. Carol, are you done? All right. I just
I'm done.
lower your hand, please. I just want to mention something first before we move on to the next speaker at this time, please. And this is not to try to turn Sister Carol's mind. I applaud what she's doing. I appreciate what she's doing. But these are just a few things I want to point out. Let's deal with the struggle for equality that our people was dealing with. Martin Luther King, he wanted us to be able to drink out of the same water fountains as the white man. He wanted us to have the same, be able to attend the same schools as the white man. He wanted us to be able to live in the neighborhoods that we've been living in equal with the white man's. Am I right? That's what he's been fighting for all those years that he was fighting, right? And it has been successful. He had all these marches, all these demonstrations, black people came out, white people came out, and he has been very successful at achieving those things. But look what it has gotten us. Look where we are. Look what we're doing. We're still slaves, and we're slaves to the oppressor. He should be applauded for what he's done. He risked his life to do what he's done. In my opinion, he was moving in the wrong direction. Now, and I can say that now because we're living the effects of it. Sure, we enjoyed a peaceful life from what our forefathers lived, somewhat peaceful, but in reality, what he should have been fighting for, in my opinion, was separation, not equality. Our own schools, our own buses, our own hospitals, our own mortgage companies, our own places of education that can benefit us as a people, ran by us, owned by us, and for us. Then we would have been a whole lot better off than this mess that we're in right now. You go out for a mortgage right now, I don't care to tell you, you got to have a 740 or better credit score. You get the 740 or better credit score, then they come up with, you got to have a job for at least 3 years. You got to have tax returns. You got to have all these other things just to discriminate against you. But the European man will get it. With no job, with a half-decent credit score, because the banks recognize him just by his social security number that he's a European. And they will give him opportunity they won't give you because we don't own nothing. We don't have no black people that we can go to with $20 billion in the bank and run a mortgage company that will give us an opportunity to do. And I'm speaking from experience right now. I thank the Most High, the King on high, but everything I got, I fought for. I fought a hell of a fight for it. I thank the Most High for the blessings and the doors that he opened to make things happen. But the white man ain't playing with us. That land we got, it ain't financed because nobody will give us the money. We running right now trying to figure out how to finance to get the houses. Guess what? We got to pay for them. Cash. And we got it. We doing it. We're going to pay cash and we don't owe nobody nothing. And I'm not boasting or bragging. Please don't think that that's what I'm doing. What I'm saying to you is that we should be fighting for separation, not amalgamation, not trying to come and be a part of them, not trying to go to their schools, drink at their fountains, ride their buses. We need to start our own bus companies. We need to start our own insurance companies. We need to start our own healthcare companies, our own hospitals, our own schools. And we need to do it right now. We need to do these things. We have to do it. My sister talked about going to colleges. Sis, I went to college, and I had this college that I wanted to go to. It was I believe it's the second best college in the United States, Pennsylvania. I believe it's the second college. Yeah, all that. And you're right. So I go and I apply. You know, them niggas turned me down, told me I couldn't, no entry, I couldn't get in. They have the ability to control that. And I was an honored student. My GPA was a 3.75, somewhere in that area. And you can get 25 points better than that. They gave me a degree, a certificate showing that I was an honor student. But I couldn't get into the prestigious school. Why? Because they don't want nobody that think like I think in their schools. They keep a record of us. They know what they're doing. We don't know it. So, you know, you talked about the great opportunity. If we had our own college, our own institution that they ain't got their hands in, don't think that these colleges out here right now, the HBCUs, are not ran by them. They are. They still determine those people. They still run them. We need our own. And then people like I, who has the degree and the intelligence that wants to go get education, can do it without them dictating what school you can and cannot go to. You still got to apply to a college to get in. The other thing is we fought for the right to vote. Why? We should have created our own political party and put our own people in office to do our own agenda for us. Let me tell you why. You think about voting. A lot of people don't know, but your vote don't mean a god-daggone thing when it comes to the real political power. It doesn't. They have what they call an electoral college. An electoral college is a certain individual that represents a certain community, a certain conglomeration of people who determines who the next president is going to be, the next senator and all those things. So your vote really don't mean anything either, but you think it does. You just don't know. What we need our own. And right now, Beulah land, we got our own. We don't owe nobody nothing. Every camp on that land is paid for. We don't owe nobody a dime. Nobody. That building y'all just saw today that we just put up, we own it, paid for, done. All of this is to the glory of the Creator. The houses that we're getting, we have to buy them. So therefore, we will own them. The land is owned. They can't take nothing unless we don't pay our taxes. But everything is owned by us, for us. And that's the way we got to move forward. So we talk about leadership. Look at what we're doing. Look at what we've done. Look at what we've accomplished. Now, help out. Be a part of. And help it to get better and grow so that the hospitals can get put. We already got the plan for a medical center right there on the corner. We already got that in the makings. We even got our own cemetery in the back. We got all these things already lined up so we can be self-sufficient. We got the school owned and operated already by us, Black folk. Nobody can't tell us what to do as long as we go by their guidelines, which they've established because they're the government and they run everything, the curriculum system. If you don't go through the way that they say, it don't work. But we get to teach what we want, the way we want. All we got to do is send our students to go take their test and pass so they can go to the next level. You go get a job, they say you're a convicted felon, you can't work here. Because they determine who goes to jail and who doesn't go to jail. And the odds are stacked against us in every area of life. What our forefathers should have fought for was for separation. Not integration, but separation. For us to have our own so we can control our own future. We don't depend on ourselves for anything. We depend on them for 90% of the things that we use to be in our existence today. Very few of us depend on ourselves for our own survival. If they don't give us a job, we'll starve or we'll beg or we beg somebody else. We don't go create nothing. But we should. You don't have to work these 9 to 5s that they tell you got to work, and you can still get rich. And you can do your own thing. Start off small. Stop trying to start off humongous like we did. Start off small. The first thing we had was the land. We got that. That was a hard struggle because it didn't come cheap, but we did it. And we can do that plus more when we got a collective group of brothers and sisters with the like mind that want to move forward in progression. We don't need no outside entity telling us nothing. We can do what we need to do for us. I'm going to shut my mic up.
I want to applaud. I don't know how to do it, how to do the thing, but I'm applauding.
Sister Tamar, you got the floor, please.
Wow. Whew, boy. Calm
Tamar,
your little self down. Calm your little self down. You're absolutely right. And I've been saying that God bless the child that's got his own. And we're moving in that direction. And there was a time when we did just build up our own. People felt like this. People felt like the way I feel. People feel the way you feel, Carol. Our ancestors, all those elements was there. But we've got to cover all bases. Because just as you said, you have the land, but then we have to get the loans. Can't get the loans. It's still controlled. And we're within their jurisdiction. So to turn a blind eye to what's going on around us, and when there are those among us that are willing to get in the trenches and wrestle with it, no, we got to do it. We got to do it all. I just think we got to do it all. But one thing I definitely wanted to say, though, was that I look at it as a part of honoring our mothers and our fathers because they died. And Most High didn't hear their cry. He turned a deaf ear to our ancestors in these lands as when they were being oppressed like that. And we are a light unto all the nations. Just this little peaceful rally, hey, look, people all over the globe now, when they want to demonstrate, they go out and have a peaceful rally. So it's only to me, no, it won't solve all our problems. But we ain't got a whole bunch of folks. That land right now, it should be not hardly enough room to build a house. And we shouldn't even be having to buy a house. You got knowledge, other brothers got knowledge, sisters got knowledge, willing to learn, willing to get in the trenches with dresses on, plant trees, dig holes, plumbing, and everything else. We should be building houses down there.
All right, all right.
Building cabins. We shouldn't be buying them.
Okay.
We didn't make them. So there's levels to all of this. There's levels to all of it. So I'm just going to say, peace be still. Get in where you fit in. I love you.
I want y'all to know this too. I didn't mention this.
Hallelujah.
And then I'm going to go on mute again, but I didn't mention this. Sister Tamar, you might want to lower your hand. 2 weeks ago, last week actually, I was talking to the European man that used to rent the land from us, used to do the hunting. So he called me out of the blue. He just called me up and said, "Hey, Prince, yo, we talk all the time." So it wasn't uncommon for him to call me. So he calls me up. He said, "Hey, Prince, you know that guy with the land right next to you? This guy just came in and bought 200 and something acres in the back." I said, yeah. How's he doing? He's all right? He said, yeah. He said, "Prince, he wants to buy your land. He's offering you double of what you paid for the land." I said, "Really? He's offering me that much?" He said, "Yeah, he's offering you double what you paid for the land." I sat back and I thought about it. Why should I sell it? What's the purpose in me selling? And if I sell it, then I defeat the whole purpose of why we bought it. There's no reason. And I'm not hungry. I'm not starving. I'm not scratching. What will be the purpose? And I'm not greedy where I want $1 million just to be having $1 million. Cool. That's already where that need to be. I ain't worried about all that. The important part is, I thought about was that our people always sold out to the white man for money. Something got to be more important than money to us. Something has to be. And what we're doing right there in Beulah Land is way more valuable than what they can offer us financially. Because as somebody said earlier, I think it was Sister Carol, I'm not sure, I believe it was, our children in the future will be benefiting from the plants we see, the seeds that we're planting right now today. Our children's children will be benefiting from that if we stay focused. But if we lose our minds, oh man, he gonna give me $1 million? All right, come on, man, give me that money. I could do this. I could go get me a car. He must have thought I was a poor nigga. That must be what he thought. I was just a club, like he gave me something. Oh, he's being good to me. He's crazy. He got the wrong one because I understand deeper than what that little couple of hours going to do for me right now. My mission is a whole lot bigger than that couple of hours. It's a whole lot bigger. And if I have the right help and the right support, which I trust the Most High will bring in my direction, I'm not concerned with that. Look what he's done thus far. Magnificent people walking with us. Magnificent. The best of the best, the cream of the crop. I can't complain. So how much more will he do in the very near future? We don't need a lot of people. We need the right people, the right souls. And that's it. We ain't about crowding the land up. You know, it ain't got to be 60 million souls down there living 500 houses. It ain't got to be all that. It could be 20, but it got to be the right 20 to massively affect the future of the house of Yisrael. That's it. And we cool. So I'm going to shut my mouth now. Amy, your hand is up. You got the floor. Total Rabbah.
I can't say, I continually say that what has been said, I agree with it. It's almost as if I'm hearing W.E.D. Du Bois and gosh, I can't even think of his name. Their argument. Y'all know
Frederick
what I'm talking
Douglass.
about.
Frederick Douglass.
Thank you. It's if I'm hearing that argument over again, because it never left. Because both of them had powerful points. I didn't agree with everything that one said, nor did I agree with the other one. In total, they both had good points, and the points that were made, we are living today because people are different. We are different. Everybody can't fit on Brula, like you just said, Prince. So when I say march, when I say get out there, it's not because it's because I know that everybody don't get it. All of us don't get it. All of us don't even see, some of us are clueless. So you have to get out there on that behalf, on behalf of those folks that's into the eyelashes and the behinds and the breasts and the money, the gold, and the cars and all this
Say it,
diversion,
Eva. Say
all
it,
of the
Eva.
diversion that they put out.
Yes.
Okay, that's what's important to me. That's why I think I need to be out there.
Yes, ma'am.
For that sake, for those sakes. It's not about me because trust me, I know about, like I told my body. I know about sharp. I've been on that for before my children were born. My oldest is be 41. Okay, so I knew it before even them. I told you I was in the party, so I know all. I know all about the things that having your own resources. I know the importance of it. But again, we would need everybody or a lot of not to get away from what the brother Roche was saying. I'm on point. I understand the remnant. So I do know everybody's not going to be doing everything, but somebody has to stand up for what is right and stand against what is wrong.
Even if
Not
it costs their life.
even if the people that's out here that's in the darkness, they don't even know that they're being attacked. They're not into the politics of what's going on right here, right in the now. They're clueless. They're oblivious to what's going on. So somebody has to get out there and try to slow the train that's on the track. It's on the track, you know. So the things that you were saying about Beulah, they need a whole lot of Beulahs, safe havens, because they coming. And the Creator said, "Lead them to the cities." So I understand all of this, and you will have to be self-sufficient. Like the sister was saying, we got the water. I know how to do. She know how to do irrigation. I understand that these are things. Just like in Africa, I used to donate like crazy because I used to get caught up on those little commercials. Oh, they need water, and and my heart would bleed. Oh, they need clean water. They ain't fair. You know what I mean? Chinese over there right now buying land, buying roads that they have to
Right.
pay to drive down.
Right.
So I get it, but my spirit has to is telling me, and I desire it. So that's the good thing. I desire to be out there because, like you were saying, Tamar, our fathers that were born in captivity, our mothers that were born in captivities, and they died. Every time I see a dog bite when they were out there on the streets trying to march for righteousness, I see those German shepherds, and I just seen another German shepherd do the same daggone thing last week. No, this week to the truck driver. Did y'all? I'm sure y'all saw that, right?
No, I didn't. What truck driver?
There was a 23-year-old truck driver driving, and the sheriffs tried to stop him. He kept driving. He finally stopped. It's on YouTube. It's been all over the news. And he got out the car with his hands up behind his head, surrendering on his knees. And they called the K9. The K9, one of the police officers was yelling, "Don't release the dog. Don't release the dog. He's surrendering. You can't, don't, da, 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 da." The man released the dog and mauled the man. He's still alive. But I heard the audio before I saw the visual, and the audio, it just, it just, it just said, yeah, I need to be out there. I need to march. If I need to march, I just need my presence needs to be there.
Mhm.
You
Well,
know, and I hope that the Most High
difference
will have
is,
mercy.
yes, that's the difference. How many years, like just down there on that plantation, the land that you purchased, how many people were oppressed, maybe maimed, killed, and their cries were not heard? My hopes is that we're in this time when the Most High hears our cry, and I know He does, because that's why we see stuff moving. That's why this anti-woke stuff is even going on, because our cries are being heard. So let's just plan to be there, Sister Carol, and let's just plan to get our list of trees and our next things to do, because yeah, we're gonna need some food. We're gonna maybe need somewhere to run, and
And everybody can't be on Brula, like you were saying, Prince. We got how many people in this country? How many black folks here? Everybody can't run a Brula.
no,
So
no.
You
So
know,
most times not going to
we
require
need
us
these.
to either, because you know what? This is an international thing that's going on. Most times say you're gonna gather this people from the four corners, so it's stuff is stirred up all over. So it's gonna be all right.
Natalia had her hand up for a long time.
Oh, baby, I
Long.
didn't know. I'm sorry.
It's
it's
not your
okay.
fault. I was just letting y'all know.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm patient. So I wanted to start saying when I said I wasn't going, it wasn't to start a big conversation about why we should or shouldn't go. I haven't been to marches in a long time, and it's some other principles behind why I don't. But what I said earlier when I came on, I said every one of us have a part to play. We do. And some of us will be at the marches. Some of us will not be there. Some of us will be in the post office. Some of us will be at different jobs. And it's a job that, Emma Carroll, your desire to be there, because that's what the Most High put in you to do. And I respect it 100,000,000%, as a matter of fact. Because you go in there, you're going to see some things that you can report back to us, all of us who do not go, because it's going to be important for all of us to be in a space. And when we send representatives, or representatives go, they're going on the behalf of those who aren't, and so they're able to give a report. I, in full honesty and my love for my people, I asked about security because, as we know, they will be ready. They have already gotten ready. I was on the highway the other day, literally wondering why these trucks, it was like they were miles apart, but the police was in front of them, behind them, and then they had other trucks in between them. And you couldn't tell what they were shipping. And it was no army truck. It was like a regular truck, but they were doing something. So when I'm asking about security, is because I'm thinking about what they are gonna do, what we are not prepared for. Because as a Black people, and 100% truth, we don't go to these things prepared. We go as spectators, and as spectators, we get annihilated. So that's merely where I was coming from. Now, when you said Al Sharpton, of course, that made it just more where I'm not going to go because of my principles against him. But security wise, I want to make sure y'all good. So if we don't know what security, the people who are organizing it does, then I'm saying and suggesting, especially as you elders, women that are going, to bring some men with you who are security conscious, who will be armed, who will be ready to protect y'all with their life. Because every time we step into any of these arenas, even living on this land, we got to be ready to die for whatever we're standing for. So that's what I'm talking about. And I'm not going, when I'm out here, I'm like, I remember somebody was like, why you always have on your gun?
Always.
Because at any point, something or anybody can come up here. I'm not saying that they are. I'm not saying that they're not. But we got to be ready. And then when I'm not here, I hand it off to the person that's going to be here. Because we have to be prepared. So that's where I'm coming from. And I know each one of us have a job. Every one of us. So I respect everybody's position. I don't want anybody to get off this call thinking I'm saying, oh, you are this or whatever because you marching or because you sitting down at the desk. Every position is important.
Everyone.
And I feel like I agree with my Ish too. I feel like when we integrated, we lost a lot in our own self, in our own people. We had so much more wealth, not just financially, but wealth as in unification as a people when we were segregated. But because we wanted to be a part, which is one of the things that got us in this curse now and this punishment, because we want to be a part of everything and everybody. We got sucker punched and everything got taken away from us, basically. So it's like we got to know when we going into these arenas, they have their agenda. We have to maintain ours. Even if we say, okay, yeah, we want to unite on certain things, but we have to be smart just like they are, because even though they integrated, they still keep us out of majority of the stuff that they want to keep us out of. And we still fighting to steadily be a part of it. So we have to decide, okay, yes, we have a 50. All right, 5 of y'all gonna go here. This is gonna be the agenda. And then be aware, Emma Carol, Mama, Sister Tamar, what's your exit route if something goes down? This is where I'm coming from at it. I don't care. I really don't care about what Al Sharpton's agenda is. I brought that up because I want to know if he put anything out there. I don't care about none of that. I want to know that y'all are being aware of what's gonna happen if there's a stampede. What is y'all's exit route? What is y'all emergency? Who knows where you're gonna be at? Who's gonna be tracking your phone to make sure that they keeping a tab on what you're doing, where you at, for security purposes, not so we could be like, just bugging y'all. But this technology that we have now, we have to use it. Even though they've used it against us, we have to use it for us. Because they tap our phone, we need to tap our phones for each other so we can make sure my children be texting me, oh, you said you was 5 minutes away. I still see you in the West End. I'm like, okay, I'm on my way. But they keep a track because they be like, well, we want to make sure you're okay. So that's where I'm at with it. you know where I'm coming from. So I'm down for whatever part of the revolution we all want to play, but we have to be security conscious, and we have to make sure that if it's just gonna be you and Sister Tamar, then no, I'm not gonna say, yeah, y'all go up there. Y'all need to take some with Shabaya. Take Shabaya, cause he'll ride or die.
God, my husband is supposed to. He wants to go. So
Okay, take Shabaya. He'll ride. Take some soldiers. I'm
I
just
don't know
saying,
who
be
else.
prepared.
I
You
don't
know
know
what I
who
mean?
else. I don't know who else is going, but I know he wants to go. So actually, it was his idea because he missed the
I
Million
mean,
Man
and that's
part.
good.
There's some bus. Most people
Yeah.
are going from bus loads. They're having buses leaving out
But
of
his
certain.
daughter lives up there.
Huh?
His daughter lives in Maryland, up there,
Oh,
Virginia.
my daughter does too. So you gonna go
Mhm.
from your daughter's house? We'll
From
do
his
that.
daughter, come
So are
really
they
from
gonna
his
be
daughter.
security?
No. I don't know who. The Fruit of Islam, I believe, is going to be there for
Well,
security.
I'm talking about y'all security. Fruit of Islam don't know Emma Carroll or Sister Tamar.
Oh,
No,
bless your
well,
heart. We gonna put
is
ourselves
that
on
the right
three.
is that a right to carry state?
I
Maryland.
don't know, but you have a
So
right to carry
you
wherever
gonna
you
be in
go.
D. You gonna be in
This
DC.
Yeah, so
marching,
You
I
gonna
have
be.
a
You
isn't
gonna
the
be
march
in DC.
in DC?
Huh?
Isn't the march in DC?
It's in DC, and so I'm sure they're gonna have those things like they did for the other people, gun thing. You probably not. They probably don't. They probably got
Yeah, I'm sure they're
sections
not
for
gonna
that.
allow it.
Yeah,
But
but we can definitely do 360 and put ourselves on a group 360 so we at least know and check in.
Mhm.
I
yeah,
hope
just look
y'all
at a
do that.
map of wherever
I'm
y'all
gonna
gonna be.
be conscious, and I'm also gonna put my trust in the Most High.
Y'all start,
Yeah,
So,
y'all
and
start.
yeah,
if I'm going to the store, you know what I mean. I have to put my trust in the Most High, so I won't stop doing that for
right.
sure.
Hello.
And I appreciate
Shalom, Prince.
the
Y'all stop
concern.
all this chattering again. One person at a time, please. One person at a time. Y'all keep everybody just chattering. Nobody can be understood. I'm gonna be quiet, but y'all, do y'all thing, but do it respectfully to each other, please.
We don't have a problem with it, and we just doing us.
Eliana, who's
But
next?
anyways, that you're right. Carol is next. She had her hand up a long time, but I would like to say, please don't underestimate what Medaya just said. Most High used her. Make sure you're secure, or you have at least have a plan, an exit strategy. Please don't take that lightly. That's all I'm saying. As I told you, Tamar, I don't want to go. I don't want to be in crowds of people. I can't run. And if something jump off, you know what? I'm just God. But however, if y'all going, I hope y'all hook up so you can at least be with each other. But please don't take that lightly. Carol ain't been up a long time. Carol next.
Oh, I was just
Carol, just not finished
I thought
talking.
I said what I had said.
I don't think
Yeah,
she put her hand down.
that's
Carol
right.
never put her head
I'm
down.
sorry. I am sorry. I'm sorry. There you go.
But that mean the conversation is over? I really
Yeah.
enjoyed this reminds me of old times. I want to ask a question. I want to ask a question, and then Roche. So are we still nation builders? I remember when I first came along, when I first met all of you, all we was talking about is we're nation builders, from the UNY to the IYCF to the ABCD. Are we still nation builders? And where do we fit in that scheme of life right now as a people? I'm talking about us, the people on this call, us who met each other in this way.
We ain't talking about it no more. We doing it.
Right. You're doing best we
Yeah, we
can.
building.
Doing
Yeah,
it.
they down there doing the doggone thing.
Okay, very well. Okay, I feel you very well. We're not talking about it no more. We're doing it. Okay. Rose, he put his hand down.
Yeah, he's just waiting for us to get done.
Yeah, because I was gonna open up a whole nother can of worms, so I'm just
Go on
listening.
and open it up.
No,
You want
no.
my can
Well,
opener?
I have to go. Woo.
Well, if I may, since my hand is up.
Oh, I didn't even see it, Mariah. Sure is.
Oh. So,
Roach, can sis speak?
Oh, okay.
All right, go ahead, sis. You got the floor, sis. Do your thing.
okay. So it was two things. One, Emma Carroll, um, I don't want you to think that I negate all that any of us received from the marches that you, my mother, my grandfather partook in any way, shape, or form, because I am someone who benefited coming both from the African American side and my Native American side. Um, I was able to glean from both, especially where it comes from. What is that? They're taking it away right now. Affirmative action.
Affirmative action. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I honor all of you. But the one thing that, as Prince said, is we got that stuff, and then now look where we are. What we have learned from from gathering ourselves amongst these nations and getting that information and stuff, the marching, I'm not saying isn't necessary, but we have to act. We have to put what we have into place. What you've brought back and said, this is what's happening. We've let these people who are in the dark know what's going on. I honor you. I respect you for that. I'm just one of the kind of people, I don't want to march. I don't even want to talk about it. What's the plan? Let's do it. I'm on that end of the craziness. And I match that with what I want to say to you, Ileana. You and I came in under the same house in Israel. And then that nation building, you introduced me to IYCF. And then IYCF introduced me to Temple Kifarim. I want you to see the building blocks that are happening here. And now, what's something we haven't had in the nation since we have Goshen Hebrew Academy, right? Where our babies can be taught the truth and our way. So the marching to the nation building is still happening. I'm just one of them who's like, what you want me to do? Let's just go figure it out and do it. And yes, this is the building of Israel. So giving praise and glory to our King. Yeah, everything that we do is necessary. Everything that we do is building Israel. Now I'm going back on mute.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. The wonder are we still nation building.
Yes,
Look at that
baby.
baby. Hallelujah.
Yes,
That's what I'm
baby.
talking about.
Another
Baby,
mama bee
listen.
baby.
Baby, listen to the conversation. Listening.
Mm-hmm. I got to do it for her.
Roach, did
Uh,
you speak, Roach?
who's next?
Well, Roach, something he wanted to say. I don't know if he still want to speak. That's why I'm asking.
Oh.
Roach, maybe he's disposed right now.
I'm here,
Yes.
so I'm here. I missed some. I'm sorry. What happened?
All right, you wanted to speak?
I guess I was going. Well, can someone tell me briefly, like as brief as possible, what is the march about? And then I'll say what I gotta say.
Well, from my understanding, the march uh, is to demonstrate. It's a demonstration against the injustice, that is taking place against Black folks here in this country. In a nutshell.
Excellent, excellent. All right. So I don't know if you all saw me comment about the Martin Luther King thing right before he died from my studies. Maybe you all could correct me if I'm wrong, but he did pull against what he was trying to fight for.
Right.
That's one. Two, a lot of times, you ever had a child to where, and this was told to me when I was younger, my mom, and I told my daughter this, and I told some of my younger, family members that have brothers and sisters, do not treat your brother and your sister like this, because if you treat them like this, someone else will. Y'all ever said that to somebody before? Anybody ever said that?
Yes,
Mhm.
sir.
Okay, so one of the things I'm using is a lot of the injustices, and I'm not taking away from all our ancestors, our forefathers, mothers that went through stuff, but
Mhm.
in today, at 2023, a lot of the injustices that's happening is because they're seeing us do it to ourselves. Granted, it started from them putting it in place in the 70s and stuff like that. I know all the history, trust me, I do. But the thing that I tell people is now it's 2023. A lot of the things that's happening is our choice now. A lot of it's conditioning. We got to remove the conditioning, but a lot of it is our choice. The reason I asked that question about what the march is this: a lot of people go on march because I feel like it's different than it was back then now. But especially because technology, fast pace, everybody is cool and comfortable where they're at. But the only part that I have against a march is they give us things to please us a little bit, but they don't ever give us fully what we want. Um, and then the things that we get is not changing our foundation. You all could correct me and teach me if I'm wrong. I mean, I talked to my grandmother, great grandmother, stuff like that. So I have done my studies in my history before speaking on what I'm speaking on. But maybe your anecdotal experiences might be different. But the thing that Prince I know is bringing out, the thing that Roshad, the thing that Prince
Medallion.
out, the thing that the reason Martin Luther King kind of went back on what he had did, sending his people into I forgot his
A
verbiage,
burning house. Sit in our
a
house with
burning
your
house,
burning house.
is because we were more united before trying to get united with them. Now we're further as it comes. We might be further along as far as finances and people being successful individually and all that, but as a people, we're at the bottom. As a people, we're our numbers is up when it comes to divorces, single women, single men in prison home, all that stuff. That's why I asked, when we do these marches and stuff, are we doing it to get stuff, or are we doing it to wake up and kind of change our mindset? If we gonna talk about this Bible, the Bible always talk about, and I'm not trying to be one of those people that talk about Bible. I do, I do it all the time. But what I'm saying is I believe in doing what we preach. So circumcise our mind is very important. Circumcising the way we think, changing it is the way we won't change our mindset because we're comfortable and complacent. We speak a lot, we talk a lot, we do marches, we do this, and we get a little change, but still failing. That's the part that I'm asking. So when I ask, okay, what's the march for? It's for the injustices. Okay, what are we doing with our own people? Why don't we march? And here's the thing: I know we are getting it done. I know people are is doing these things that we're speaking of. They're doing it, but just to act, just to speak on what the marches is, because the marches is being said because we're thinking that we're not doing it. We're going to the people outside of us, the injustices that's happening to us. But what about the people within us? You know, we need to go to our own people. We need to teach our own people, because while we're going to them, we still not dealing with the people that's being injustice our own selves, hating our own brothers, killing our own brothers, mistreating our own women. Our women are mistreating men because we don't know how to deal with one another. But when we get with other people, we get to other races, we change up for them. We know how to treat them. So we doing these marches and stuff. This stuff is feel good. It changes. It does things. But I'm talking about 2023. I don't see. I don't see. Um. I don't see the major change that we need happening unless we deal with the core. The core is man and woman. Every woman I listen to, talk to, every man I listen to, talk to, we're against each other. We are against each other. and we're independent and for ourselves. We're trying to these injustices to get better treatment for ourselves so we can better ourselves individually versus collectively. And I know this just seems like talking, but I talk to everybody about it. But people don't want collective change. Truly, we want individual change. I get it. And they know we do. They know that we do. That's why we at the bottom. Culturally, lack customs. We talk about things like for the culture, but we don't have a culture. You all know this. I ain't talking to some people that don't know this stuff. But the things that build culture is man and woman. And with that, I yield. Until we do that, all this Bible stuff, all this, the stuff with Prince talking about with the land and all that with the 20 people, that's amazing. And that's going to feel amazing when we do it. And hopefully we could be a light to the people that's outside of us. But I'm not going to lie to you. And I talked to Prince about this. I talked to my Isha about this. I don't know. I don't know, man. This stuff be hard for me when I talk about it. I promise you it does. Because I hear everybody talking. It's like, it's never going to change. It's never going to change like we want it to. And I know we all want it to the idea is great, but the idea can't happen without provision and actually doing it. It just can't. We love these great speakers like Malcolm X. We love these great speakers like Martin and all them. They're great speakers. They did their work. They did a lot of good things. But the one thing I'm going to say, last thing I'm going to say, is these leaders that died, that Prince was talking about and everybody was talking about, and then people just start going back to their ways. It's like, I don't know. I'm done, y'all. Hey, I love you all. I promise you I do. I just want on the collective to change. I like the individuality. I promise. I'm gonna be happy when Beulah grow. I know Beulah gonna do his thing with the people that's coming or with the people that's not. I know it. But I hate that every last woman in my family is single. Y'all want to know my ministry before meeting Prince and Princess? It's Bayat Mazan, House of Balance. Why? Because every woman in my family is single. Every woman in my family is single. We could blame that on the men. We could blame that on the woman. It don't matter who we blame it on. The end of the day, every woman is single. Every man I know outside of the righteous ones it's just, so I'm seeing out of all our success and all our failures, that's our problem. Yes, we was conditioned. Yes, we got all this stuff that happened to us. Cool. But we could change everything else we want to do, but we can't change how we treat each other. And if we could change that and how we think about each other, how we feel about each other, if we can't change the actions that we do, the people we choose to be with, if we can change that, I promise you things will change. If we could tell men stop having sex with women that's not their wives, if we could tell women stop having sex with men that's not their husbands, it's gonna force men to do better. Prove me wrong. Try it. Well, nobody want to try it because we got needs. It's a lot, man. And that's what I see. I think the core to everything, all our problems, is man and woman. So that for you all's time for letting me speak.
All right, everybody. I enjoy hearing you talk rather than teaching.
Hey, is it me?
No, actually, Tamar is next. But I ain't trying to, step on Prince's toes or nothing. Tamar had a hand up for a minute, and then Carol's next.
Very good, sis. You're watching. All right, hallelujah. I like what you're saying, and you're absolutely right. And I think that that's one of the things that we can do down at Beulah. We can have some spiritual retreats for men and women that will promote the healing that's necessary. Only thing I wanted to say, because I know a lot of times we don't watch the news. I probably watch it a lot because my husband liked to watch the news. But this attack on us is in part because of the Republicans are on this mission of being anti-woke. If you can imagine what does anti-woke mean? it's the result of our people coming into knowledge of self, and even Europeans coming in knowledge of self, and that they don't choose to be.
Sis, can you tell us what woke is? I've been asking everybody, like, what is woke? What is WOKE? Why did they choose those letters? Like, what is happening? What is it that they're saying? Well, I'm the anti-woke. What is
Well,
it?
if you listen to people, well, the opposite of anti-woke would be to be awakened. And if you listen to people, just go on YouTube and just awakening. You got a lot of Europeans that are probably descendants from the hippie era, because during the civil rights movement, same time the hippie era was going on. You know, there's always been different nationalities. Europe, shouldn't say different nationalities. I'll just say Europeans, because we only know what was going on in history in North America, that always maybe have felt that there was some wrong being done, but they had to save their own hides. But now there is people that are migrating away from Christianity and white dominance. White people, Black people, Hispanic people. So they're losing their platform. That's what the whole mega movement is about. You know, but they don't realize that it didn't start with just people waking up. It started with people, CEOs, moving their jobs overseas. But all of it is by design. It's all little by little. So I think it was a lot of passion on the phone, and everybody was right. It's just the piece that you have to bring. So with that, I'm a mute, because I'll be jumping off here in a minute. So I want to wait till you guys share your views.
Take your hand down, Tamar. I really wish somebody could tell me what the woke, like, what is woke? Why they choose those letters? Carol, you're right. You're next.
Okay, just like Tamar was saying, is white folks finally caught on. Somebody was paying attention to Black folks. You know how a greeting you might in passing, you might say, "Stay woke, my sister. Stay woke. Don't sleep." You know, so they got a hold to that, and then they start saying that like they decoded something basically, and so they started. Yeah, and so they began to use it on John Hannity and on Fox News, and so it kind of spread it. You know, that's where all that came from. You know how somebody would say, "Don't fall asleep, don't sleep on it, stay woke."
So they said when Black people woke up, we woke up, and they're against that. Is that what they're saying?
So the anti-woke, yes. So now, you know, it's like they're they just placating it. That's all. They're just trying to, you know, like she was saying, anti-woke. They're against us being conscious of knowing what's really going on.
Right.
They done got a hold to some. Do you know? I don't know if I still have the article. I've had it for years. They had the government had a advertisement for employment for people to decode slang, um, the slang language, Ebonics, to decode it for them, and perhaps woke was probably
That's great.
woke was probably on that list somewhere, you know. But that's where that came from.
With this one, I'm out of turn. And you know how you be able to listen to all y'all phone conversations, like I'm sure somebody will review this one. You say, "Girl,
this is their free conference. You know they listen."
Right. When I woke up, you know, I was 15 when I woke up. What? All this keep coming up. So anti-woke is anti you not depending on them or being subjected to them, subservient to them.
So woke is sleep. So the opposite of woke state is sleep state.
And they want to sleep.
They want to put us back to sleep.
So yes, can I go
Rockabye baby.
Can I go
and
there?
So a way that they're doing that is they're trying to.
They're trying to keep us high on weed, They rocked us back to sleep, make you comfortable in your little corner. You getting your little check, your little stamps. You getting food. You comfortable in your little corner while they're doing what they're doing, redistricting, so you can't even vote. Isn't that terrible?
Yes, breaking all kind of laws, breaking all kind of laws. Um, and defying the Supreme Court on this too, on a lot of that redistricting. But going back to what Roche was saying about the man and woman, you have to go back. I agree with you to the beginning, and that was two, man and woman. So I agree totally with that, what you were saying. And your sisters, and amongst a whole lot of other sisters out here are single, and for whatever reason. Maybe they don't want to settle for what's out there. We can't negate that. It's a possibility. Some people settle just not to be alone. And I'm sure that's not what you would want for any of your sisters. So just bear that in mind. However, I do know that some South African women back in the day, they did a protest. Um, and they withheld sex from their husbands in order to get them to do what was right. And it worked.
Well,
And I said, if we want to stop the drug dealers, the boyfriends, and all that kind of stuff, I said this years ago. Tell your man, if you wanted to stop, we ain't doing nothing. I don't want your gym shoes that was bought by drug money.
right.
I don't want nothing that you've got for my son or my daughter from drug money, from illegal money.
Holding back nothing.
If we did that, if women stood up and said no, we can make a difference. What is a man going to do? Turn gay? Think about it.
Oh, sis. You know that's only going to work for a weak-minded man. Because a real righteous man, a real disciplined righteous man, he's not worried about that follicle. He's worried about.
Well, if a real righteous man, he would be doing what was right anyway, so it don't matter.
That's what I'm trying to get to you. Listen to me, please. He's not worried about that. That will work on those weak-minded men, that's worldly men. But a righteous man is working on a different spiritual level. He separates himself from that sexual being. So that wouldn't.
We're not talking about righteous men. I'm not talking about a righteous man. I'm talking about men that's doing wrong and evil to get them to stop. I'm not talking about somebody that's doing what they're supposed to be doing, being responsible and accountable. No, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the ones that you want to stop doing the wickedness, stop the drug dealing. Because if you think about it, majority of the guys that's doing drugs living in a woman's house. He doesn't have his own place. He hiding out in her house.
And he feels like he's doing it for her. He feels like he's doing it for her. He feels like he's risking his life for her, for his family.
I can't hear you. You breaking up.
Hello.
Yeah.
Madiah, I can hear you. Yeah, so I'm just saying that you can when I drive through communities, say for instance, there's a community that has low income and apartment buildings or whatever. Majority of those guys hanging out, they living in some woman's house that has gotten subsidized rent. You know what I mean? They don't have something in their own name. So I'm saying, in order to get those guys, but first you got to change her mindset to thinking that having a baller, quote unquote, it's what you should be aspiring to have. And that's where women come in to uplift women. There's nothing wrong with uplifting women, and it's not to bash a man, it's to uplift her so that she knows her worth. Because if she knows her worth, then she can possibly, if a man is interested in her, she can tell him the things in order to get her what he has to do. He has to rise up and be what God intended him to be. So it's not to bash him, but first it starts, she has to know what it is. She has to know her value. And as long as she doesn't know her value, she'll roll with what's out there. She'll lower her standards and she won't be single because being or having a man is more important than her own self-worth. If that makes any sense.
It does.
So
And
again,
it's
it goes back to the woman and man, like the brother said, and then families.
right. Right. Dr. Prince, he done left the building. Uh-oh, I see an arm.
Call me Dr. Prince, huh?
Yes, sir, I did.
What's up, sis?
Well, you know, it's your call. We just was doing what we do, you know. So
It is what it is. I'm not gonna argue with y'all. I let y'all sisters do your thing. When y'all get together, something righteous will come out of it. I'm not worried about it. All right. So we reached the end. We have exhausted all of our conversations. Is there anyone else who wishes?
I sure hope so. Was all this being recorded?
Yes, it is.
Good conversation. We're gonna look back at it and say, see, we was the first ones to say that. See?
What's the name?
So you just never.
What's the title that I should call this video?
Keeping it real.
Yeah, I like that.
Look,
Real
Al
talk.
look, no, don't say that because that's Al Sharpton's that's his commercial. Keeping it real.
Real talk. Real talk. Real talk.
So don't use that.
I was gonna name it Sisters Talk.
No, because we have you and Roche in there.
Yeah, but
Okay,
y'all
be
got the majority of the talk.
Let's call it yeah, call it real talk.
real talk.
Real
Yeah, real
talk.
Real talk. That includes everyone that was on the that made a comment. Real talk.
That ain't attractive. That ain't gonna make nobody say, "Oh man, I want to see what that's about."
Oh, seriously, he
Oh, you
really
mean that
likes real talk about our issues, our position on our issues.
It's gotta
Real talk. How many people want to actually hear it?
It's gotta be something catchy.
Oh, you mean you sharing this?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it on our YouTube page.
He could put it on
Oh,
his YouTube
hell, I didn't
page.
know that. If I
Bruh,
know that, I would
subtitle it.
Well, he don't have to. If you don't,
stay blocked.
Private conversation. Maybe this is
I would say it like that.
I don't think nothing was said that was inappropriate that can't be shared. But if y'all don't want him to, just tell him.
Well, I'm just saying, bro, you can name it Real Talk, but under the subtitle, say what Ileana said and put the conversations you don't normally have, or the conversation that must be had.
Right.
That sounds good.
Yeah, tell him to get your attention.
That must be had. Real talk. The conversation that must be had. That sounds good, sister.
All right.
And
Let
listen
us
from me too. I was so glad to see so surprised. Oh,
Relative, everyone. Relative.
between the four of us.
Chief.
One more thing.
Plateau.
We've been on this recording for 10 hours almost.
Oh,
Good.
May the most high be praised. Y'all have a good night.
Okay.
you as well.
Thank you and have a great cycle.
Shabbat shalom. Everybody be safe, man. The Most High bless your week. come.
Yeah. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, family.
Shalom.
Hello.